510 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm, Satchel, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You can also follow us on Twitter at WNS Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter, DRH Pro, Tyler _Abear, Abear_mode on Instagram, DRH_Pro on Instagram. I'm also on the Twitch and the TikTok at DRH Pro. Do you even get on TikTok that much anymore?
No.
Not really?
I mean, I'll go through spurts of, I'll hop on, watch the videos people send, then I won't be on for weeks.
Yeah.
So I know everyone sends me tons of videos, but
all those videos just gone to waste, folks. Don't even bother. So welcome to the show. Gonna have plenty to talk about. We got WWE news, some AEW news, some hot topics, and all that as well.
Going on.
There's lots going on in the wrestling world, and we're gonna try and talk about some of it because the last time we were here, we were giving our predictions for the Royal Rumble, and haven't had a show since then because my work schedule has been all kinds of crazy. But we are back and we are here.
That crazy, yo.
It is crazy, yo.
Yep.
So before we get into that, Tyler, how you doing?
I'm making it.
Yeah.
I think wrestling AEW wise has been great.
Yeah.
WB is meh as usual. But I think there's some inner workings of stuff that's great going on, even in Impact and other stuff. But how about yourself?
I'm doing okay. I've just been working so much, and it's gotten to the point where I can't keep up with wrestling that much. So I kind of take a look at the cliff notes and the reviews and all that as far as what happened. And
just ignore WWE and just
as far as WWE, yeah,
AEW.
There's a lot where I'm just I'm not too interested in watching that anyways. So I don't really feel like I'm missing a whole lot. Now AEW on the other hand, there's still a lot going on, and there's still that I really want to see. So I made sure today to sit down and watch Dynamite. Yeah,
a lot of people, and then I don't know what a lot of them are doing. And it's I love AEW and I always will, but this whole, hey, this person's hired, this person's hired, this person, it's kind of getting to me a little bit. I'm like, this is, in my opinion, this is kind of too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he has a vision, he can work it out.
Yeah, and I suppose that's one of the hardest things. You have to work with what you have before you add more.
He keeps on doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot. And
it's very ambitious, and I get it, but you're not at the top of an empire right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't have... Yes, you have dark elevation, but you're... what's it called? Rampage is only 1 hour, and you can only...
Well, you also have dark and dark elevation to tie some of it, but not as many people are watching.
We're going to come to a point where there's going to be people in that company who's unhappy.
Yeah.
They're going to get paid well, but airtime is going to be,
Yeah, what happens when you run out of factions to kind of well, you're in this group and you're on TV, so you get to, be part of it.
Which I'm not looking forward to this, but I don't want people to lose their jobs, but I want to see who's not going to be, their contract's not going to be renewed.
Yeah, because Tony Khan recently admitted he won't be able to renew everyone's contract in AEW. We keep bringing in these top-tier talent. Unfortunately, we have to make some space for them.
Brian Cage, for sure.
Brian Cage is probably going to be one that will end up going.
Maybe.
Marco Stunt, more than likely, out the door. Joey Janela, I think, another one. Then there are a few others that you could go on the roster and be like, yeah, we haven't seen this person really flourish and shine. And
some of the new people are short term, like Tony Nese, maybe Jay Lethal. I wonder if they're short term.
That's kind of what I'm wondering too. I'm really thinking Jay Lethal maybe signed a 6-month deal or something while they figure out what they're going to do with Ring of Honor, so that if he wanted to go back to Ring of Honor, he could, or if he likes how things are going in AEW, they can do that too.
I hope they keep him. And I hope they do more. I think, and I haven't watched, I don't know when he's about to have a match with Ricky. They already
have that. They had that on Rampage last week.
But
and the finish was amazing, too.
It was great. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could help so many people, and like, I wish they'll do good stuff with him, Jay.
Did you see what the finish was? Do you want to know?
Sure.
So, Lethal does the lethal injection.
Yeah.
He bounces off the ring, the ring ropes and all that. So Ricky Starks was set up for that. Jay Lethal hits off the ropes, goes to jump back. Starks catches him and flips him. Like, it's so hard to describe it. So, like, he bounces off the rope, comes back. So his head's down here, and then he leaps over. He catches him and, like, slams him down. And it was, like, into Ricky Starks' finisher.
Wow.
So it was really well done. And Ricky Starks ended up getting the win.
Which I think should have. I mean, they need to push Ricky.
Or it's like he went.
You know what I mean?
He went forward into the ropes, came back, leapt, went upside down. Starks caught him and slammed. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I just have to. I would just have to show you.
Awesome.
But yeah.
See, there's like a lot of people like. So far, Andrade's not had a good run. Like in AEW.
Yeah, he seems to be like struggling to keep afloat. Like
now he's with Matt Hardy and they have their own group and like.
Well, they brought him into it and like so they tried to make it instead of the HFO, it's the AHFO, and it's kind of just like it doesn't mesh well for me. And you've got the Blade, but the Butcher is out with an injury again.
And now Matt just walked away from
the
private party.
Yeah. So it's like I'm thinking that Matt Hardy's going to walk away from the AHFO.
So he can be
with Jeff. Yeah, because that's happening in about a month.
Dude, like, it's just, there's so much stuff going on, and I love AEW, but it's like, there's going to be people that put to the side, and it's sad, and because when they first came along, people were doing their part and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. Like, Leo, I had hopes for him and stuff, and now he's going to go or whatever. It is what it is. That can be more room for other people. I mean, look, Keith Lee, Keith Lee. So I don't know what's going to happen with Keith Lee. You got who else? Who else is signed?
Killer Cross. Oh, as far as signed?
I was like, hopefully not Killer Cross.
Well, I was thinking of like, the free agents who are now done with their 90-day no-compete clause. You got your Mia Yims, your Killer Cross, Scarlett Bordeaux.
I don't want Killer Cross for AEW.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Or would she be a good fit? Because AEW is like really struggling to get their women's division going. You've got, it looks like we're going to have Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker, which I'm all for. Jade Cargill is slowly coming up the ranks. They have a story with Serena Deeb, but not really anything else in the ladies department.
Yeah.
Like all the other ladies are kind of like floating,
Yeah.
And you look at the roster for the ladies, and it's stacked. They've got a huge women's roster.
There's a lot. Yeah.
But just not enough airtime for all of them.
So that's got me worried. You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going to happen with the company in general. Is Tony Khan being too ambitious? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you want everyone, and you have the money, dude. I get it. But do you really have the money to buy everyone, though?
From a business sense, is it the best decision to get all these talents? I mean, it's one of those where it's like, I want these people to be successful, but I also want them to be happy.
Yeah.
And not everyone is going to get to the top. Like, as much as we want to see certain stars succeed, they're not going to be the main champion, at least anytime soon.
God, there's a list of people we want. We want Kingston. We want Archer. We want Black. We want, the list goes on, man.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah. And AEW is doing a really good job of long storytelling. But the problem is when you have, 50 guys on the roster, eventually someone's going to be like, all right, when's my number going to come up? Because I'm ready to go.
We don't have 50 on the roster.
Yeah.
We got way more.
Well, right, but what I'm saying, you got so many people, you can only shuffle them around so much. Like, hey, how about a tag title? Hey, how about the TNT title? I'm like, no, I want to be the main champ. You look at Miro. Where's Miro been the last couple of weeks?
Where's he been? Then there's certain things. And this kind of ties it into what I was telling you before. Like, there's certain things that's got me in AEW. It's got me worried and make me looking into storylines too much and what's real and what's fake, because I guess we can be considered marks and stuff. And knowing me, like, is this real or fake? Like, you got the Cody stuff, for instance. I always talk about how the fans turn on him. Is he really, like, certain things he'll do to, like, piss off the crowd, blah, 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 blah. Oh, by the way, that just reminded me. I want to jump into something last week.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of stuff going on. Brandy came out, and then Dan Lambert came out.
Mm-hmm.
People were booing Brandy. Oh, well deserved. She's a heel. She knows that, and they told her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't bother me because she's a heel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Dan Lambert said some stuff that just threw me off, and the crowd cheered him.
Yeah.
Like, he talked about,
like, you have this guy who's being like this major prick,
and I didn't like it because he was like, what was some of the stuff that he said? He's like, well, I'm gonna go down in blazing something with cancel culture, and they all cheered. I'm like, okay, look, what I'm about to say is probably gonna offend some people. I'm not against or for. I'm just trying to make a comparison. Brian Kendrick, for what he said, a lot of horrible things, right? Back in the past. So they chose not to go do that match with Moxley.
Yeah.
And, and then you have people cheering a man who said some stuff, and I'm going to go down, cancel culture. And then what else did he said? That he even said that he was sexist in his character, and they're fucking cheering that. I'm like, I'm all confused here.
Yeah.
I'm all confused. Because you have the mix of people who don't give a shit, but you have people who want to cancel people and stuff like that. So, like, my mind's just, like, blown. I'm like, okay, you got the stuff with Kendrick. Okay. Then now you have Dan Lambert coming and saying this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Also, another thing that kind of threw me for a loop, and I thought hard about it. Okay, so you had House of Black versus Pac and
Penta.
Yeah. Okay. Bear with me. They did the proper way.
Yeah.
At the end, they were booing Black
Mm-hmm.
because he spit in Penta's face, right?
Yeah.
Where the fuck were you with Cody when Black was supposed to be the bad guy and you're going against Cody? Like, what? I don't get it. And like, no, you're like, there's not specific rules. You can do what you want. I get it. You're booing the bad person for spitting in their face, and I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That just threw me off. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's hard to describe because the timing in which Malachi Black appeared, he was very popular. The fans were happy to see him in AEW. That it didn't matter what kind of character he was portraying; they were just happy to see him, and they just happened to put him up against Cody.
Because he
was
going after Arn, he was going after every family member.
Yeah, but the fans sided with him as opposed to Cody. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now
it doesn't matter. He kicked the old man in the head.
Yeah,
we're not gonna boo him. We're gonna cheer him.
Hell
but
yeah!
He just spit in Penta's face. I don't know. There's no set rules, but all this stuff like last week threw me for a loop.
Fans are fickle, man.
And it is, and like I just probably need to not like look into everything deeply.
Yeah, don't take it personally.
It goes back to the FTR stuff when they came in and like they were like, well, I don't like the tag team division. They're throwing this stuff out, and I'm like, is this real? Is this fake? I can't wrap my mind around it. It's like, we're the real deals and stuff like that. I'm like, oh god. And then you have the stuff with, which I think is really just a storyline, and I just figured it out, but with Eddie Kingston,
Jericho,
because Jericho was like, what has Eddie Kingston ever done for you? And they're like, Eddie Kingston's our brother, and stuff like that. You don't know shit. And then like Jericho's like doing his I guess his heelish stick. I don't know what you call it. And then you have one of the guys looking at the camera, just like laughing at him. Like, you see this guy? Like, I'm like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's a little different for me. It's not like the older stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Everything's just throwing me for a loop.
We as fans have evolved to a point where, I don't know. Like, we know that it's scripted. We know that they're going to say things to try and piss us off. But it's like, when we went to the show in Houston, mm-hmm. I was laughing when MJF is like pissing off the fans.
Yeah.
Because I can appreciate the work that he's putting in, but I'll play along, basically.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is.
The same thing.
I think the crowds today are okay playing along. Where it's like, all right, we know this is a bad guy. We're gonna boo him, but I really like him.
But there's a part where some don't. You know what I mean? And there's not a rule saying you have to.
Yeah, there's not. And that's another thing. It's, the second you try and say, well, why are you cheering the bad guy? Well, because I can. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, yeah, that's fair enough, I guess. Like, logically, you shouldn't, because he kicked an old man and, spit in this person's face, and that's not really someone that you should cheer for.
I didn't, also get the whole Brandy and Dan Lambert, because they're both heels.
Yeah.
And why, I know you... And I know it was a storyline just to get what's her name to come over there so they can fight.
Yeah.
What I don't even remember her name. That's part of Dan Lambert's group.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. But people are like, shut that up. They'll say that stuff, and like I get it. Brandy is just, you know what? You're gonna do this. I'm gonna do this to you. So, but I don't know. It just threw me for a loop. Like the whole interaction between them was like, I don't like this.
I think Brandy needs to figure out who her character is, because
fair enough. Yeah.
She comes out and her delivery is not believable. She's like, "Oh, we're here in what was the name of this town? Oh, I completely forgot. It's, it's like Cleveland, right? Because Cleveland knows how to treat an audience, but they're in Chicago. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you're trying. It's like you're practicing being a heel, but you're on live television. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know.
There's a lot of trial and error that they're doing. A lot of people are doing. So I'm just, letting everything slide. But that stuff last week, I just scratched my head.
Yeah.
All those things. You know what I mean? You're going to have a crowd that,
But again,
just cheers cancel culture.
Heels fighting heels, and it's like,
yeah,
what's going on here? Like, who am I supposed to be cheering for?
Yeah, because... And like I said, I'm not bashing the stuff with cancel culture. I'm just making an observation.
Yeah.
The guy that says going down the ball of cancel culture and you're cheering him, but basically Brian Kendrick got canceled. So
mm-hmm.
I don't all that stuff just threw me for a loop. So
at least his match did.
Well, his match doesn't mean that in the future that they can do business. They may do business with him. So
yeah.
I do not know, but
we'll see. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know. One thing that I did really find interesting that I really enjoyed was the chemistry and reasoning behind Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley on Rampage, where Danielson approached him and said, "Hey man, look, I've been watching you for the past couple weeks. I realized that we could go out and fight and beat the holy hell out of each other. But why would we do that? We could team up. We could take some young guys and dominate this land. There's no reason why a cowboy should be world champion. There's no reason why a dinosaur should be tag champion. There's no reason why a vlogger should be the TNT champion. We should be running this place."
It's so funny. There is truth behind that, because one of the episodes of Sammy's vlog, they got him on, like, they were at the ramp, and Sammy's crew or whatever, and they're like trying to ask him questions. He's like, "What are we doing here?" It's like, there's really a vlog out, like, we have so much like hope for the youth, and you're just doing vlogs. Like, go out there and do. And he's being serious, and like they're kind of like laughing at him, but I'm like, why are you laughing at this man?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people like younger than us, and people our age, or maybe some older, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, to each their own.
I would really like to see them team up.
Yes.
Ambrose or Moxley and Danielson.
Yes, I would like that.
I mean, I'm all for them making their own faction like that. That would
They would be very dominant, very hard hitting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're getting young people, Daniel Garcia needs to be part of the group.
Yeah.
Like he said that. He needs to be part of that. I don't know about 2.0.
No, he said we need to pull him away from 2.0.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia.
Guys like Lee Moriarty and
okay,
a couple others.
Pick those guys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Train the future.
I agree.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that comes to pass. But one of the big signings this week, Keith Lee, debuting.
What's so funny is, and you don't watch AEW when it came out. We were talking about that, and I wanted to post something because they were saying the Forbidden Door will be open.
Mm-hmm.
And before that match even started, Switchblade made a appearance.
Yeah.
So I was like, and that was right before the match that happened. And I was like, he's not gonna be that. I was like, it has to be someone else. But I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So it wasn't him, but I wanted to put the words "limitless" and then put a picture of a switchblade, maybe to throw you off.
Mm-hmm. Or you could put someone completely different to really throw you off. Like you could put Killer Cross or
I wanted to
Santino
put,
Marella
represent both of them. So it'd be like, is that Keith Lee or Switchblade? Jay White? What?
Right. But so yeah. Well, first off, Switchblade showing up on Dynamite. That was quite the shock.
And that's another thing that's blowing my mind. Because you got so many things that goes on, and I know it's probably a work, but I don't think it's a work. Tama Tonga, part of the Bullet Club. The dude is very, active, on
social media.
How much that, he's original Bullet Club and stuff like that. Like, they're in Impact right now, and they're feuding with the Good Brothers. You talk shit and blah, 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 and they do that. He talked stuff on Kenny Omega. And even, a while back, he was like, Switchblade, you're not the leader of the group. Even though he is, supposedly. And you know how much trash that he talked on, the Young Bucks and stuff. And it's like, y'all's version of the Bullet Club wasn't that great. It's the most popular now. And I'm like,
I don't know about all that.
I don't think so. I think
that's debatable.
The peak is probably debatable between, I know he was part of it, between when Prince Devitt was the
Prince Devitt?
Yeah, who's that? Was the
People
head
know
of it,
him.
or AJ Styles was, or Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
those were and you can debate maybe Switchblade, but I think the highest was
peak in popularity
was Kenny Omega with the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, Cody,
Good Brothers,
and all that stuff. All that. I would debate that, but we don't know if Switchblade's going to turn on all of them, because we know coming up Adam Cole is going to turn on the Young Bucks. We don't know when Kenny Omega's going to be back. Yeah. But, we say this. We think it's going to be Kenny Omega and the Bucks versus Undisputed Era.
What I really want to know is what happened between Cody and the Young Bucks. I'm if I could be a fly on the wall in that conversation and find out what happened,
He still puts them over.
Yeah.
From time to time.
But
it's just sad because I like them together. And I don't know what it was, and I don't want to see anything bad happen. And, I don't know if I believe the whole, even though he said it in his promo, that has a handshake deal. Mm-hmm. As according to Sean Ross Sapp or whatever, I have a handshake deal. I was like, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you do have a contract. You're trying to be edgy and say this, but we don't know. Maybe he's right.
I'm going to be edgy.
I'm going to be edgy. Yeah. But I don't know. I do want to know for sure. I have this fear in the back of my head. I was like, what if AEW crashes? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got
that
all this
bubble bursts.
Little cracks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I hope not.
I think that competition's good for everybody. And I think that AEW is here to stay now. I think they're good for a while.
Well, if you're gonna like crash and burn or burn crash however it is, at least get the video game out, please.
Right. And the reason why I say that is because Dynamite had 1.1 million viewers. It was number 1 in the top 150 shows on cable for the night. So the networks are happy, the crowds are happy. The thing is, like, people are gonna say, well, 1.1 million viewers, that's not that much. Well, compared to 10 years ago, yeah, it's not. But in today's society, in today's wrestling world, with so many people, cutting cable, going, having Netflix or Hulu only, all these streaming services only, streaming online only, 1.1 million viewers, that's pretty good. Yeah. So if you got number 1 on cable for the night, then you're doing something right. So fans are tuning in. Yeah. And that's a good thing. So
I try to stay off of. I'll see videos because I like AEW and WWE on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I don't look at the comments, no matter who you're for
is a or cesspool.
Both of them. Is very, very toxic. Yeah, and I will not be part of that.
Yeah, it's incredibly toxic. Even on the Wrestling News Source page,
people are just trolls, and they just like to do stuff over and over. They think it's funny. It's like, dude, I can't take this.
Well, it's like someone commented on the debut of Keith Lee. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, Keith Lee is in AEW. And someone was like, oh, look, more riffraff coming from WWE. And I replied, I'm like, what is he supposed to do? Just stay unemployed? And
I bet they didn't respond.
No, they didn't. They didn't. And that's the thing.
No one gets that.
Yeah. Like, if you get let go from your job, do you just stay unemployed because you don't want to be a reject from wherever you work and go somewhere
competition.
Else? Yeah. It's like, I'm going to go to the competition and show them what's up, what they missed out on. So, because you have to think, a lot of the people who were released, many fans have been clamoring for years, like, guys, do something with them. Like, make them worth something. You got Miro, who was not treated right in WWE. You got Aleister Black, who wasn't treated right. Now Malachi Black. You got Keith Lee. Like, all these talented people that for years, fans are like, Vince, what are you doing?
They were decent in NXT. Mm-hmm. Got to the main roster. We're not going to do nothing with them.
Yeah. And then, sorry, kid, future endeavor.
I heard that, and I don't, it's only on the dirt sheets, that people in WWE are not happy. They're kind of discouraged, unless you are in the top echelon.
Morale is very, very low right now.
I bet, especially Ali. You know that, man.
Ali wants out, and they are not. They're not granting.
Screw them, man. Like, you're just doing it just to rub salt in the wound. The man doesn't want to be there.
Mm-hmm. It's like you released 80 people last year, and you can't get one more. Like, what the heck?
And then we haven't talked about this, the whole Jeff Hardy thing.
Yeah.
And this is what was reported, something along the lines where I guess a test came back and he didn't have nothing in the system, right?
Yeah, he was clean.
So they're trying to offer him a Hall of Fame spot, and
he's like,
he turned it down because they didn't offer Hardy Boys, they just offered Jeff. But I don't think Jeff wants to be part of that. My question was that part of a thing Jeff did so he can get out? Maybe. Because hey, in the middle of the match, I'm just gonna wander the crowd. You know what I mean? Yeah. But whatever, I don't give a shit. He got out of the system. And I bet he is like,
as long as he's happy and safe.
For sure,
clean. That's the main thing. But so it's expected. It's not confirmed or anything, but I'm sure a lot of fans and a lot of people are expecting Jeff Hardy to show up in AEW in about a month's time.
Oh, for sure, man. They're gonna have an AEW run, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, they're gonna most likely get the tag titles at one point, for sure. It's probably a guarantee. Dude, I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, how am I supposed to know?
Jeff Harvey.
And some happy news, at least. Mia Yim and Keith Lee got married, and they tried to throw everybody off. I don't know if you saw or not.
No.
So they were Mia Yim posted a picture on her Twitter of them like in a beach area.
Yeah.
And she was like enjoying our honeymoon. Someone actually went through like all her previous photos on Twitter and found like yay, hey, your hairstyle was like this, and you were wearing this exact same bathing suit.
You don't have anything better to do.
Exactly. It was like, hey, you wore this exact same bathing suit, and your hair was just like this at this point in time. So this is a repost to try and throw everyone off of the scent for Keith Lee debuting on Dynamite.
I have time for that shit.
I mean, props to him for figuring it out.
That's too much.
But that's a little
very
bit
stalkerish.
Oh yeah, a little bit
esque.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. There's limits. There's limits you can go to for that. I don't know, man. So Shane McMahon tried to book himself to be the star of the Royal Rumble.
I've seen that.
By the way, congratulations on winning $50, sir.
Yeah, hey man, I was happy.
You were. You'd never been so happy to see Ronda Rousey.
I got cocky at first. I was like, oh, I'm gonna win. And then my mind started going. I was like, no, because if storylines with Lita wins or Charlotte, I'm like, no, maybe not. And they got close. And I was like, I'm gonna win. But then I was like, no, Mickey didn't actually get thrown out.
I went back and watched that. She did.
She did? I thought it was the middle rope.
What happened, she got thrown over the top rope. She battled back through the middle one, and she got like spike DDT'd and went through.
Oh, okay.
So she never reestablished her feet inside the rope inside the ring.
Okay, I guess I had turned away when all that stuff happened. But then also I didn't like that little jab. And WWE, it's like, oh, she fell out. Well, I guess she made an impact. Whatever. That's Vince like, let's make a jab at Impact.
I doubt that was even him. That was probably one of the commentators. That
was Corey who said it.
Probably just throwing a little shade, a little
But
tease.
Dude, that was pretty cool when she came out in the hardcore country and she had the belt. I'm like, what?
That was pretty nuts. Something we don't often see.
Yeah.
Someone
all
else
about the people like,
WWE
the forbidden door's been open.
Yeah, right. It was open and
WWE
shut.
doesn't play ball.
Yeah.
You don't get that.
Mickey James opened it and they kicked her right back out.
Yeah, they did.
Like, all right, thanks.
And so Melina, because I think she works for NWA.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But I saw an interview with Melina. She was crying. She was happy to be
Oh,
back
yeah.
now. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, she got emotional in the ring.
Yeah.
So they kind of had to like take a moment for her to compose herself.
That's cool.
But yeah, that was. But yeah, Shane McMahon tried to like book himself to win pretty much. And
Vince didn't like that.
No, Vince didn't like it. Many of the producers didn't like it. So he was like, okay, well, how about you just make me look like a star? And they're like, dude, like, who do you think you are? Like, that's not happening. So he's like, okay, well, I'll be 29. And they're like, no, you're gonna be 28. So I don't know. Apparently, the one thing that they let happen was that he got to outpunch former UFC fighter Riddle. Like, that was it.
I didn't know all the details. I just saw articles that he's out. You know, they were all mad at him. He doesn't want to come
he went
back.
like
I'm
completely
wow.
power hungry apparently.
Oh, because I was like, dude, like Vince just shunned his son.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I mean, he can shun his son because he shunned his son-in-law. So we know he can shun family members. Look, hell, Stephanie probably won't get the company.
Right. So
you know what I mean?
So Shane was reportedly let go from WWE shortly after the Royal Rumble, and now they're looking for a major attraction for WrestleMania following his departure, which leads me to believe the question: is Shane McMahon a major attraction in WWE?
In his mind, probably so.
In Vince's mind, also, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know about in Vince's mind. I'm not for sure, to be honest with you.
Because like the fans pop for him, but.
Do the coast to coast.
Right.
But, I mean, there's a lot of fresh new matchups. I mean, he's not a great wrestler, but, I mean, when he was fighting, he fought AJ, which that was a great storyline. You had, who else? Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. That was good stuff. The Braun Strowman, that was not good at all.
But it's like, does he have any business being in the ring? Realistically.
No.
Is he a star? Is he a superstar? Is he top tier talent from around the world that you bring in for a special attraction?
Just because
like
stuff that he's
are you putting him in the same level as Brock Lesnar as far as like special attractions? Because that's how I feel like they're doing. Like Goldberg, Lesnar, and Shane McMahon. Like that's where WWE is right now. Like, because they don't have Cena, they don't have The Rock, they don't have Triple H, they don't have The Undertaker.
I'm surprised they haven't called Booker T in to try to wrestle.
But would you consider him one of those top tier talents?
He was in the era of like Goldberg and stuff. I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
I would say maybe. You know what I mean? But I mean, it just depends on who's.
I would say no, and it's no offense to Booker T, because they never really booked him as a top tier guy. He was on top for a while.
The Invasion stuff, he was like fighting The Rock, fighting Austin, fighting.
Yeah, but he was never like the top guy. It wasn't until he became King Booker that they let him be the champion.
Okay.
For a while, like that was like the pinnacle of it, and it's like, you know, he was a super talented guy. But they never let him achieve that status, like your Stone Cold Steve Austins, you're The Undertakers, Kurt Angle, The Rock, you know, Shawn Michaels. You know, you've got.
He was high in WCW, but not WWF.
Exactly. That's what it is. You know, in WCW, he was a top tier talent. Yeah. Sting was a top tier talent. You know, Kevin Nash was a top tier talent. You come back to WWE, not the case.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know who else they could use, to be honest with you.
And they've run out of so many.
Like, dude, I'm telling you what. Like, I don't look forward to when Goldberg comes back. I really don't. He's not that great of a wrestler. It's like they're using him. They're milking the hell out of him. He has to probably bust his ass to get in shape.
He's got like one match left in his contract, and I think it's going to be this Saudi show for Elimination Chamber, and then he's going to have that surgery or whatever he's been needing.
I bet Vince is like, well, I need you to heal fast because we need you for the Saudi show.
Mm-hmm. But you look at the list of talent that are still currently in WWE who have been there for more than like 10 years, like 10 to 15 years. Those should be the major attraction draws of today.
Yeah.
Because you look back, The Rock, Stone Cold, their major runs were like 6 to 8 years.
It wasn't that long.
No, it wasn't. And that's the thing. It seemed
longer in our eyes.
It did. John Cena was here for like 15, 16 years. Randy Orton's getting close to 20.
They're like the Randy Ortons.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. Why did I say the Randy Ortons? They're like the Ric Flairs.
Yeah.
That they just want to keep wrestling. Well, I don't know about Cena now, but like them two are like the Ric Flair and Hogan's. They just want to keep wrestling. Well, you got a bad hip. Well, I want to fucking keep wrestling.
Yeah, but like we're to the point now where
pass the torch.
Yeah. You have to.
Torch.
They've missed the boat on that so many times because Hogan wanted to come back, Flair wanted to come back. You bring back Sergeant Slaughter, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, you know, and all these great legends are good to have on screen. It's like, oh, that's a cool moment, but like their time is gone. The next generation, this should have been their moment, but Austin got too many injuries. Undertaker can't go anymore. He's retired. Kane's done. You know,
they did pass the torch.
Yeah.
But those people that passed the torch are getting old now, which is Cena and Orton.
Exactly.
Batista.
Exactly.
Brock.
Yeah.
You know.
So Brock should be considered a special attraction.
Yeah.
You know, Batista should be considered a big, major attraction.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back. Cena's probably not coming back.
Triple H can't come back.
Triple H, yeah, he's
physically
done. He's done.
He's done.
So, you know, you look at the talent that you have now. Miz should be winding his career down, realistically thinking, because he's been here for like 15 years. Yeah. Orton should be winding down. Kofi Kingston should be winding down. Like, these are all like your veterans now.
Well, you say that, but also look at R-Truth. I mean, he's not top, but he's been there for a long time. Even before he came back as before R-Truth, he was there in the Attitude Era as K-Quick.
Yeah. But it's like, who among these current WWE talents could you have take off for 2 or 3 years, bring them back in, and have them be a top draw for a main card match on WrestleMania? God. Orton, like that's it.
Edge,
yeah, but he just came back, you know, after being gone for how many years, and so that's the problem. They don't have those top tier draws.
They can only do so much with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, AJ.
Mm-hmm. And now that you have AEW in the mix, your chances of winning drastic go down.
Like, you need to pump up. Like, okay, there's only one person who's young right now. No, 2 people on the main rosters that they're pumping up that are young. Can you name them?
Dominic, and probably see Austin Theory.
I think
I
that's
haven't
gonna
connected
flail.
with him.
I think
yet.
that's going to flail.
Yeah.
Eventually, because you know how many times they put him in certain things in the past and it just fizzled out. But we have to see. I mean, they're putting him with Vince McMahon, and you know they think he's the future. So we will see. He may fall out. You know what I mean? But
It better be the future, otherwise I'm gonna beat you up. Yeah.
Send a selfie and
I'm gonna
send
take
it to
a
your
picture. I'm gonna send it to your mom. It's like, oh,
call
God.
her for a nice seafood dinner.
And then
and
never
never
talk
call
to
her
her
again.
again. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
But yeah, that's it right now. I mean, they are trying to promote the future in NXT. Their ratings are super low.
Yeah.
If you follow NXT or WWE or any of the rosters for WWE on Facebook, if you've noticed lately, all the new people, they're posting like, oh, hey, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
All of the new people. I would say some of the new people are good. Some people are growing on us. And then some are green AF, and they're shoving them down our goddamn throats.
Yeah.
And then some people, and I know people have to do their jobs, but there's some people they've brought in that are new that they're just fucking jobbers.
Yeah.
Andre Chase, one of the bravados.
Mm-hmm.
He's, I think, like mid-30s. I like his character. I really do. He gets beat every time.
Yeah.
And then what happened on last NXT just came out of nowhere. Dolph showed up on NXT.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And immediately overshadowed by Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes.
So, like, even a guy like Dolph Ziggler is not the biggest draw in NXT.
Yeah.
Because you bring out Tommaso Ciampa and the crowd goes nuts for him.
Yeah. Like, what was the purpose? You came out here to talk between Braun and Phantasma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what's his name comes out? Tommaso. So, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on. So, like, I don't know. Are people watching right now?
A few.
We got some viewers. I don't know if people are like, what's your opinion on the wrestlers of NXT? I'm not talking about Tommaso. I'm not talking about LA Knight. Like the
Braun
newer people.
Breaker.
I actually like Braun Breaker. I really do. But you got like a 20-year-old, like a Cora Jade, I think her name. That she's a fake skateboarder. And then you have like other people and stuff, and it's just like, I forgot what their name is, but Bull Buchanan's son is in there, which he doesn't have the Buchanan name, but he's like, it's like two guys, but they're like country guys or whatever. They're in a tag team.
And I'm a little bit rock
Well, they don't
and
talk
roll.
like that, but I forgot their names. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I just want to know what people think.
Yeah, definitely chime in for those who are watching on our Twitch. So for our listeners, they're out on iTunes or Spotify. We are streaming our shows on Twitch. At DRH Pro. So feel free to pop in every once in a while, give me a follow, and.
But like,
you know.
Is it weird that NXT is preparing for the future, but not Raw and SmackDown? Well, because they have two young guys.
They just, I don't know. Raw and SmackDown just seem so.
If Ray
copy
wasn't
and
on the
paste.
main roster, I think Dominic wouldn't get as big a push.
No,
as he is
not at
now.
all.
He would like get a little bit pushed, but he would get shit on.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because Rey Mysterio has said, I'm not leaving, like, I'm not stepping away from wrestling until I feel that Dominic is ready to go out on his own.
Yeah.
But I feel like the second that happens, he's going to get a small push, and then that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And, we'll put you in random tag teams and
I also want to say
future endeavor you want
this week when they had Miz and Maurice talking to the Mysterios, Miz did a great job at getting the crowd to boo him and all that stuff. I thought it was great. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
It was really good. And then that last line that really got Ray, we're talking about Dominic, it's like, I think you're actually Eddie's son.
Look, sir, they had a whole feud about this involving a ladder. All right, we've been down this road.
But it was pretty good, and like Miz just knows how to. I think I don't know if you consider Roman a heel right now.
That'd be one way to turn Dominic. Have him attack Ray and be like, "You think I didn't find the papers?
Oh God! Can we have a match between
You've lied to me all these years, Dad."
Dominic versus Hand?
Yes, there you go. See, now we're getting into some good wrestling. Now we're talking wrestling.
Oh God!
The son of Rey Mysterio versus a hand.
And the ref is head.
What does everybody want? Oh, God. But, yeah, I mean, now, due to the Olympics, Raw and NXT were forced to move over to Sci-Fi.
I forgot about that. I turned it on. I'm like, what's the Olympics on?
I don't want to watch figure skating. What is this?
Where are they at? Right. Sci-Fi.
But Raw and NXT ended up drawing their lowest viewerships ever being on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
So I guess a lot of folks forgot. Similar to you. But that's okay.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, oh, this is the end of Raw. I'm like, dude, Raw's not going anywhere. Come on.
You think WWE's going somewhere?
Right. If you got to take it somewhere, take it somewhere. Booker T made a prediction that he thinks The Undertaker has one more match in him. It might not necessarily be at WrestleMania, but he thinks that he's got one more.
Show.
That's probably what it would be.
Because you know how much you want to bet since he retired and he's getting healthy, like every other person who's been injured, and he's going to like just keep getting in shape and say, I'm going to have that one last match and go out. Like, you already had that one last match, but if you want to do another one, okay, Rick, okay, Hogan.
And if you notice, there's an empty spot on my wall up here where the picture that I would have taken with Undertaker would have gone. I did not go and spend X amount of dollars. I had a chance. I could have.
Yeah,
I really could have.
A chance. Look at me split.
I could have met The Undertaker, and I decided not to. I wanted to save some money, and instead I bought Legos. Use that money to good purpose, That's okay. I like my picture with Ric Flair, which is weird because like all the stuff that he's done after that since whatever. Dude's kind of lost his mind.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, let me use this as an example. The picture that we have with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
It was so quick that it's like, did we even really meet him?
It's very quick.
It's like we walked into an area where he was standing. There was a bright flash of light.
Y'all are
and we left.
And that's about it.
And we left. And that was it. Mark Henry, on the other hand, we met Mark Henry.
Yeah.
We talked to Mark Henry.
Situation.
It was, but we got to meet him. We got to talk to him. Primetime players. We got to meet primetime players. We went backstage at a show.
I think that was quick too, though.
It was quick, but they signed our ticket stubs and all that, so we got to meet them, talk to them a little bit. Hey, man, how's it going? Remember, they didn't even know that NXT shirt that I was wearing. They're like, "Oh, dude, that's a sick shirt. Where'd you get that?"
By the way,
to the show.
Where the hell is Titus?
He's doing the ambassador stuff.
So he doesn't wrestle. He just does ambassador stuff.
Yeah. King Council says a hug seals the encounter. So if you hug the person, then that means you really met them. So I guess we didn't really meet any of these people.
Yeah. Shit.
I feel like we might have gotten a couple of handshakes.
Yeah.
But I didn't hug any of them. Dadgummit, King. You're right. We've messed up. I haven't met anybody. I'm going to have to clear out our Facebook page of all the people that we've met because we didn't hug hardly any of them. A forced hug is best.
Would you consider a hug if we did this, right?
Over the shoulder?
Yeah. Gail Kim?
Like that? Well, you did that.
Gail Kim for me. And who else?
What about shaking of the hands? Is that acceptable? Because I've done that to a couple of folks. We'll wait for the official word on that.
Okay.
But
oh, yeah?
Waiting. But yeah, he thinks that Undertaker will wrestle one more match. Yes or no? You think he will?
It wouldn't surprise me. Because, there's a lot of people who've taken time off. And, well, I mean, even when he had one match a year, he wasn't that great of shape.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
A hug, preferably ass grab.
I think if
grab the booty, pinch
the butt. Would get a kick in the nuts.
Yeah, that's probably what would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Undertaker's done because he's been asked ad nauseum since
what's gonna happen?
Officially being done. It's like, are you really done? Are you really done? And I'm sure the itch will come back, but he'll have the realization of dude, I just can't. I just can't go.
Physically can't.
Yeah. Like, he'll still be in good shape, and he might feel good, and he needs that. He needs to give his body rest.
If he has a manager, but, like, dude, try some other avenues. You know what I mean? Look at Stone Cold. Look at The Rock. I mean,
and he's been making a lot of appearances lately, so.
You can go on any show. You're still popular. People know you. Look at after AEW on that cooking show or whatever. Jericho was on a cooking show.
Yeah. Well, that's probably a tie-in with TBS.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Kind of like the Big Show. Go Big Show.
The Big Show show.
Big Show. Go Big Show with Big Show.
Yeah. Is he still doing, like, commentary for Elevation?
I don't know. I don't watch Elevation.
I don't either.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't either.
I would think so, but couldn't say with certainty.
I don't know what else I was going to say.
Oh. Well, speaking of that guy right there, that old man, Ric Flair made some comments about Becky Lynch. So this is making me further think that the feud between Becky and Charlotte is legit. Because, like, Ric Flair is, like, going after Becky Lynch, calling her generic. She stole my gimmick of being called the man.
Just
all
drop it, Rick.
It's becoming very salty. And so he's coming out basically saying she's generic. Whenever she's on TV, I just want to change the channel and all that. And Becky responded by saying, quote, "Work so hard, your heroes become your rivals, then become so good, Ric Flair loses his mind every time you breathe." Like, damn.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Yeah. Like, just drop it, Rick. God damn. I know you have a salty taste in your mouth because of the last WWE thing, like, but as I'm not talking about the whole, like, going nuts on Becky Lynch, but as a lot of legends and wrestlers who come back to WWE find out quickly, WWE is a different beast than it once was.
Yeah.
I mean, Shelton hardly gets any time. Look at stuff with John Morrison. There's special attraction people that come in. Like, Edge is different. Lita's different. But, you know, people who sign contracts, like, you're not going to get that big of a run like you think you are.
Yeah.
Maybe for a little bit, and then you're just going to
You're not going to get used the way you thought you were.
Yeah.
And
Like, it's just a different mindset.
Yeah.
Like, you got Vince thinking differently, because I don't know if it's because of Dunn or Nick Khan. It's different.
Mm-hmm. So, it's just... Yeah, the game has definitely changed.
There's a meme that, I don't know if you've seen it. Nick Khan is in the audience like this, looking at the ring. And he goes, and someone's like, Nick Khan, looking who he can fire next.
Oh, God.
Because
yeah.
he looked like he was unimpressed, and he was in the audience with his hands like this, just looking. I'm like, that's funny and sad at the same time. Who can I fire next? So I need some more money. We need to save more money.
And it does continue the question, like, is WWE getting ready to sell?
And
it's like, why would they still not release Ali, though? That makes no sense.
That to me seems like rubbing salt in a wound. Like, screw you.
He put out a tweet like right before the Royal Rumble and was like, "No, I would not like to be a participant in the Royal Rumble. I want my release." So apparently they like reached out to him and were like, "Hey, you want to be in the Royal Rumble this year?" He's like,
Dude,
"No."
What happens if you break your contract?
They could sue him.
Okay, so you can't go on to, say, like, Dave Meltzer's podcast and talk stuff. You could probably get sued.
I don't know. Like, my thought process would be, like, go out to the ring during the middle of the match and just walk
do the
around.
Jeff Hardy thing.
Like, do something to get yourself fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be like, all right, you're not going to let me go. Well, I'm just going to be a nuisance then. You know? I'll grab the mic and start shouting expletives. I mean, that's not the most professional way to go, but it might get you what you want.
Ollie's older than we think he is.
Is he?
I want to say mid to late 30s. I thought so. Maybe he's early 30s. I thought we looked it up a while back.
I don't know.
Who knows? But
you got Google, don't you?
Nope. What's Google?
He is 35.
35.
Yeah. And that fact, his birthday is coming up next month, March 28th.
So what's the news on? Have you heard anything about Johnny Gargano?
Enjoying free agency until his wife gives birth. That's what I heard.
Now she's stuck with WWE.
Oh, yeah. She'll be there for a while because they're tacking on like the time she's taking off for her pregnancy.
Yeesh.
Which is kind of bad.
Yep.
But I mean, you look at the list, some of the list of talents that WWE has in their arsenal as far as youth. Mansoor, 26. Ricochet's only 33. Cedric Alexander's 32. Drew Gulak, 34. Jinder Mahal, 35. Dominik Dijakovic or T-Bar or whatever, 34. So, like, you have all these people that you could build this company around, and they're just not.
In the eyes of them, we're like, 30, you're still old. You got to be in the 20s. That's a good age. It's a good age.
I don't even know if
I'm 25.
they're gonna have that. You are not. You're such a liar.
I'm receding, so I'm not.
I'm going to change your little quotation mark for that.
What? I'm a liar?
Yep.
I'm Honest A-Bear. 25.
Not Honest A-Bear. There we go. You feel good about yourself?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Steven says I'm 25, but I look like I'm 21. That is such a compliment, Steven. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I am not.
You got that baby face.
I do have that baby. Look at these cheeks.
Oh.
Look at those little cheeks. Let's talk about, well,
chicks, man.
Yeah, chicks, man. I don't know about that. Congratulations to AQA, who debuted against Jade Cargill on Dynamite. That's one of Booker T's.
I read about that. I know nothing of her.
One of Booker T's folks.
Yeah.
And Jade Cargill defeated her to become 27-0.
Boom. What'd she say? She's that bitch?
That bitch show.
That bitch show. Is that a new YouTube show?
Well, it's that bitch show. Ding, 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 ding.
I like the name of her lawyer or
Smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's a smart Mark. That Mark's pretty smart. Where do you think they're going with this inner circle meeting? Do you think they're
split?
You think they're splitting them up for good?
Yeah,
because they're having a match on Rampage this week to kind of, I guess, settle the dust, clear the air.
I didn't like how everything went because Jericho kind of went snippy too quick.
Yeah,
it's like they didn't explain, or unless I missed something. Like they were like, "We don't like you because you put us in your business," and Jericho didn't like even have time to explain anything. It's like, no, it wasn't my fault, but they're turning him a little heelish and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
and then he did
it.
snap at Sammy, and so it's like, why? Like,
yeah,
why
it's like they didn't even like explain it. He just like did it, and it's like, if you know the history of Proud and Powerful, like they're good friends with Eddie and stuff, but Jericho's like, no, what do you do for you? And I get the whole clout. It's like I made you money, and I get that, but it was like too quick.
We gonna save that money.
Jericho didn't like, I helped you out, man. You actually turned on me. If you think about it, they actually turned on him.
You betrayed me.
But I don't know. I don't know which way they're going.
And that's just something you just don't do.
What's so crazy is I read a tweet from Eddie Kingston. It was like, and the way he tweeted, it's so funny. It was like he was against Sammy, but he's for Jake. Which was weird. He was like, why is it like, Santana Ortiz are not getting tag title shots?
Yeah.
They're part of the inner circle. Sammy is, like he was being sarcastic, but it's like, my boy Jake Hager didn't, and he should be getting a main title shot. So it's weird.
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird thing.
I don't know. Why isn't Jake Hager getting a title opportunity? Where's he even been lately? He just showed up this week, and that was
a lot of people are not getting TV time.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see. Wardlow defeated the Blade on Dynamite. We got that MJF celebration. CM Punk wanted to fight Wardlow.
And then he had his friends come out, Darby and Sting.
Yeah.
I was like, are Darby going to team with Punk, or is it Sting? But it was a very nice surprise.
Yeah. Let's see. Keith Lee made his debut, went up against Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy ended up walking out on Isaiah.
I was like, oh, man. What's going to happen at a private party?
Well, I think Andrade is going to lead that faction, and Hardy's going to step away. So that way he can be like, you know what? I want to focus on something else, and that's going to bring in Jeff. So he'll probably turn face and all that. CM Punk and Jon Moxley, or should I say Gian.
Awesome.
Really good match.
Yeah, very
against
great
FTR.
Match. That was like the best match of the night. I think it was better than the main event.
I'll agree with that because it was wrestling, not sports entertainment. Were you sports entertained?
Nope.
I saw wrestling. It was great.
Wrestling.
CM Punk and John Moxley ended up getting the victory over FTR. Very good match. Great performance by all parties. Serena Deeb defeated Katie Arquette in 1 minute because she's having a 5-minute challenge.
We talked about earlier, but also Switchblade showed up
for 5 minutes of playtime. Yes.
Switchblade showed up.
Switchblade did show up.
Adam Cole's like, you need to trust me. The Young Bucks like, him and Kenny had beef. They're like, Cutler, did you know about this? It's like, I may have known about it.
I know things. The main event saw Hangman Adam Page bleed all over Lance Archer in a Texas death match. Lots of blood.
Then I like how AEW gets like some of the old guys like, hey, I want to do a move.
Right.
So Jake the Snake did a clothesline, about to do his DDT. It's just like totally doing his stuff. I like the, also going back to that match with CM Punk and them. I like the interaction between Punk. Was it Moxley? No, it was Punk and Tully.
Yeah, because he was hitting him with his coat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He was just
took a GTS, man.
Yeah.
Heck
dude, I thought he was going to drop Tully because he didn't have control. I was like, oh, shit, he's going to drop Tully.
Yeah, he hoisted him up and gave him the GTS, put him to sleep, all that fun stuff. But, yeah, man, I wish I had the capability to watch it all live. Because, like, man, I get home and the first thing I want to do is like check Facebook, and I see so many of the spoilers. I'm like, dadgummit.
Yeah.
So, but that's partially on me because like it's like, okay, you know the spoilers are out there. Don't get on Facebook or don't go on Twitter. And
dude, since I like them on Facebook, it's like you log into Facebook and then AEW is like right there
within
like,
minutes.
I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy, but man, I'm hoping that something that can happen to where I can go to a normal schedule and be able to watch wrestling live again because I miss it so. I miss getting to hang out with all my friends and my normal Twitch schedule and all that. I miss a lot of things.
Hopefully things will balance out for you.
We'll see. But I certainly want to thank everyone for tuning in. You got anything else? What do you think of that Nintendo Direct? I didn't get to watch it, but I heard...
I didn't get to watch it, but I saw some things. Like
we got Coconut Mauled.
Huh?
We got Coconut Mauled.
I don't know what that is.
It's one of the racetracks on Mario Kart.
Oh, okay. So they got DLC. I saw there's DLC for that.
It's like 48 tracks remastered that's going to be coming to Mario Kart.
Damn.
I know.
It was like no Mario Kart 9, but it's DLC.
It's like 4 waves of 6 tracks or something like that.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Or 32 tracks. I don't know. It's a lot of tracks.
That's pretty awesome. Any new characters?
I don't know. I didn't watch the Direct. I just know that little
I
bit
like
info.
it's going to be for the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo stuff, but Mother and Earthbound.
Mother.
Those are good.
Tell your children not to come my
Portal
way.
1 and 2 is coming to Switch. Then No Man's Sky is coming to Switch and other stuff.
Sweet. I've just been having fun with Pokemon Arceus.
I don't even know how to say it, but that's fun. Yeah, that's really fun. I've been playing it when I got a chance. I'm trying to think what else. WWE, like the pictures and videos they've been showing for WWE 2K22 looks really good, but we got like a month until it comes out because I think it's like March something.
So much time.
I'm like, I don't want to get it for PS4 or Xbox One.
For the new gen.
I want the new gen. I don't have.
You're so greedy.
So I want a PS5. I signed up to try to get a PS5. We'll see what comes first, the PS5 or the Steam Deck.
Or the egg.
Or the egg.
Or the chicken.
Yes. I think that's about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I certainly want to thank everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave it on our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. You can check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. You can subscribe to our show on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
I was like, okay.
You have stuff to say, too, sir.
Hi.
Hi.
We're
Hello.
on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm, Satchel, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You can also follow us on Twitter at WNS Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at DRHPro, Tyler _Abear, Abear_mode on Instagram, DRH_pro on Instagram. You can also follow me right here on Twitch or TikTok at DRHPro. So, with that being said, for the podcast crew, I'm Daniel Heron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
And we will hopefully see you all laters.